Hey guys, so today is day 5 of our numerology and tarot, so I'm excited again to be here as things are developing. It's been great. I've got lots of you guys watching. I've got almost 100 people a day watching, and so that's a little intimidating but very exciting. So just really excited to know that this is connecting, because if you're still watching at this point 5 days in, it means at least you're a little bit interested here. So I just want to tap into to speak about the, obviously it resonates if you're here still, but really how to use this in a practical way, because sometimes it can feel like, okay, well, that's nice information or nice to think about, but really looking at how you can apply it to your day-to-day. I think about it as being a way to have a conversation and elicit deeper wisdom, to tap into your intuition, to really allowing yourself to create a sense of self-trust. Because even if, I'm pulling cards and you're thinking like, oh, well, that doesn't resonate for me. Well, it sparks the question, what does? What does resonate for you? What stands true? What feels like is the truth for you? And I know for me, kind of where this has really played a huge part in my life is that, I was riddled with self-doubt and just not knowing, both as an empath and then struggling through my eating disorder, just really finding a sense of self. And this is something that I feel really helps to just ask those questions, guide you in different directions, allows you to have a different perspective. I would have the tendency to really be stuck in these negative mindsets. So it allowed me to see that there might be a different possibility available for me. It's kind of the feeling, and it's interesting because as I was thinking about this, because of the energy of today, is that of 2 and of the 2 of Spades. So just like yesterday, we were kind of doubling down on the 1 energy, how it was really showing up in a big way. Today is the 2 energy. So 2 is all about connection and a more intimate connection. So whether that's a connection with you and the other person, or you and your own intuition, it might be an internal conversation that is happening. But how can you ask good questions? How can you get curious about where there's possibility in different avenues? And the other thing is that I was really thinking of is the aspect of when we call a girlfriend and a guy friend, and we have a deep question, or we have something that's bothering us, and you go for a walk and you talk it out, and sometimes it may be that it is something, big and profound, and they help you to get, just saying it out loud, first of all, is a big deal. Admitting it to yourself that this is something that you're thinking or feeling, but then also having the reflection back from someone else, like a different perspective to come in. And then also sometimes it comes out of your mouth and you think, that's actually not what I think at all, or actually that's kind of ridiculous. And so you can challenge yourself on your own thoughts, but then also that other person can challenge you. And so for me, doing a daily practice, or coming in and doing bigger spreads where I have like bigger questions that I really want an answer to, that is what it allows me. It allows me this different perspective to really challenge and get to the nitty-gritty of a situation, versus it being the surface fears or doubts that would just kind of be that negative mindset strain of program thinking that was going on in my mind. And though it may not be a quick fix to things, it is one of those that you're kind of reorienting on a daily basis, or reorienting with yourself more frequently to then be heading in the direction that you want to go. And once again, like with the New Year's resolution kind of thing, it's like, if you're not looking at your goals except for once a year, think about how much you have to, if you're here and then you're wanting to be here, that is a huge shift that you have to make. But if you're constantly kind of tapping in, checking in, noticing how you're feeling in your body, noticing what's resonating, what's not resonating, then that on a daily basis, you're not going to get that far off the mark. So it's a really beautiful way to stay connected with self. And so though it may feel intangible, when I'm talking about like the energy of the day or things like that, the practical shifts that you can make in your day are incredible. And so really capitalizing, specifically today, all of this is relevant to this 2 energy, is how can you really make the connections that you make matter? How can you make the people that you have around you, or the people that you're deciding to have these conversations with, be ones that will help you to resonate from that higher place, that will ask the hard questions, the good, deeper questions, the mirroring also of seeing, seeing the beauty in you and challenging, like, I know you better than that. You're capable of X, Y, and Z, or these are the different ways that I've noticed these other things come in. So it's really looking at who is your support team, and are you on that support team? Are you part of your support team, of being able to come in and stand up for yourself? And so in this 2 energy, you also think of, sometimes can be, because often when there's 2, there's one that leads and one that can tend to follow. And there's whoever has kind of like the stronger opinion or stronger, kind of through line. There might be a sense to default. And instead of having it you're showing up with a sense of complacency, how can you show up and really voice, because 2 is about that communication piece, how can you really voice, say it out loud? What are your passions? What are your dreams? The Spades is that of following those things. What is the things that light you up in your life? And not always defaulting to others, not always kind of keeping quiet and sitting back and just going with the flow, because it's fine, you don't have anything really to say about it, it's, you enjoy it, okay, but you don't actually insert your own magic, your own passions, your own desires, and voice them and see how those can come to fruition. So really taking time to not only plant the seeds from yesterday that we were talking about, of like, now we're starting to bring it out, vocally into the world. How is it that I can put it out there? Because you never know also of how other people can rally for you, whether it's in just support, or maybe they know connections, or maybe they have a resource that might be able to speak to exactly what it is that you're wanting to experience or bring into this world. So I just really challenge you to allow it to exist in the world through voicing it. So like I said, whether it's that you're journaling and this is more intuitive process and you're kind of exploring that on your own, or it's that you are bringing it out into the world, you're calling a friend today, you're sharing your ideas and your thoughts. I just really think that would be a beautiful way to really hit that next step of that planting the seed, and really looking at how are we going to manifest this? How are we going to bring this into the world? So that way your day-to-day, your activities, your conversations, your thoughts in your mind reflect your true heart's desire. So, all right, let's go ahead and pull a card. On that, I just want to say, when it comes to the conversation piece and really having things be practical, I would love to start where if you guys want to start submitting any questions that you have, I'll pull you an individual card, tarot card. So we'll have the general energy of the day like we just did. I'll draw a card for the collective, and then if you have a specific question, just drop it in the comments below. If you want it to be private, you can DM me, and then I won't tag your name specifically, yeah. So it helps me. You can ask for a general card, but it really helps when it's a little bit more specific, where there's a sense of context. So you don't have to give all the details, but at least if I know if it's like, is there a career decision? Is it in relationship? Is it in your own emotional state or well-being that you're wanting that focus to be on? It can help to inform, how the reading goes. So, all right. So let's go ahead and pull our card for today of how we can really expand on this connection piece. All right, we're getting lots of Pentacles these days. So King of Pentacles. All right. So with Pentacles, as we've talked before, this is this more earthly, physical energy. How are you showing up in the world? And the King is one that walks his talk. He doesn't need to convince, he doesn't need to cajole, he doesn't need to demand anything. He is the master of his own domain. So how is it that you can walk your talk, and through walking the talk, then people see what your energetic essence is, and they are drawn to that, you know, just like even me starting, you know, doing the cards, like the people that are interested show up. I'm simply sharing with you a practice that I do on a daily basis, and then it's so fun to have this conversation, to like have people here with me and to feel like I'm having a conversation versus it just being with myself. This is the same thing of how can you really trust the self, that what your heart is guiding you to is exactly where you're meant to be going. So hold into that truth, see who kind of comes and gathers and supports your mission, your heart's desire, your passions, and that really resonate with your own, you know, sense of magic. So this is just such a, yeah, it's just walk the talk, be there, exist, do the things that light you up. So I'm really excited for your day today. The other thing is like when we talk about this energy or these possibilities, then it kind of, you know, especially if you hear it in the morning, then you can see where that energy shows up in your day. If you have it where it's more in the evening that you guys are watching, then it can be that it's a reflection of where did I see evidence of this during my day. And it just, I don't know about you guys, I have like I feel like I'm always thinking complex inner world, and it allows there just to be this processing. And that's something that's really beautiful when it comes to, you know, we have to process our emotions. We have to move through the scenarios in order to get good sleep, in order to move through experiences and emotions. And I just find it a very beautiful and gentle way to do it. So I'm so glad you guys are on this journey with me. So please drop any questions that you have, and I will pull you a card individually after this. So we might find that these are getting longer, and with that, just know that I'll do the collective energy, the collective card, and if you don't have a specific question, I'll definitely let you know when it's like breaking from the day energy to then doing individual pulls, so that way if you want to drop off. But when it comes to that, often if you're nervous to leave a comment, or you're just not sure what question to ask, if you just listen, you know, as you're making your coffee or breakfast or going for a walk, you might find that the question that somebody else is asking really resonates with your situation. So just like we have a general energy, often there's themes, you know, in the circles that we run in, there will be themes that are also running. So even though you may not have to ask the specific question, you might get your answer either way. So anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.